Hi everyone, it is Wednesday afternoon. I'm doing a yoga flow. This is kind of emotional focus for emotional release. It is pretty sunny and hot here in North Carolina. Not sure what it's like where you're at. So I'm going to start in a seated meditation pose and we're going to focus on our breathing. We're going to begin here and we're going to close our eyes and just focus on our breath work at this very moment. Focus on breathing in and releasing. And as you release each time, think of releasing every worry that is going on in your mind and just letting it go out into the world. Breathing in and releasing out. And as you go through this, allow each breath to get deeper and deeper, getting into the more deep thoughts that you have within your mind and your body, and focusing on releasing every moment or everything that you have that's going on, and just focusing on the here and now and the breath work. Focusing on the here and now and focusing on your breath work should allow you to set aside whatever is going on in the outside. Most of us don't take enough time to be with ourselves, to truly understand ourselves, to be one in ourselves. It's a hard concept when you haven't spent a lot of time with yourself and you don't know what the silence is like with yourself. Now, once you're done, we're going to go onto both hands and knees and do some cat and cows just to release your hips. Focusing again on that breath work. And while you're doing the cat and cows, whatever other moves your mind or body is calling to you, like threading the needle. And then I'm going to go to a downward dog after this. I'm going to walk it out. And I'm going to go to a low lunge. Now, a lot of emotion can be carried in your inner thighs in this position, and a lot of stress and tension can be carried in here. And for me today, I was definitely feeling a lot of emotion and tension. And I knew instead of focusing on the negativity that I needed to focus on my breathing and to get right back into the here and now. It's so hard to do, but with routine practice, you can definitely get to that point. So we're going to do some camel poses. So you bend over, lift your left arm overhead, your right hand behind, and switching arms overhead and doing that back bend. And I'm going to reach both behind. You can keep doing camel. And then I'm going to go into a forward fold, bending with my hands clasped overhead. And I'm going to start my practice with an inversion. You can start with whatever feels good in your body. This is a little bit harder because normally the planks are the other way when I'm faced on the porch, but since it's so hot out, it's a little bit harder. And you can even do crow pose. So you put both your hands firmly down, lift your knees up, and then balance. Whatever inversion that you did to do that. I'm going to go back into a crab pose, tilt my head back. And then I'm going to sit back down. And for my next pose, I'm going to lift my left leg over my right. This is going to be a fire log pose. And again, we're working on our inner thighs to get emotion and tension out of our body. And we're going to lean forward over that bent leg and just let your body do its job to stretch it out and release the tension. And focus again on your breath work. Sometimes we hold hidden emotion in our body that we didn't know we had to process. So many vulnerabilities, so many things will catch up in your body and your mind, and you just won't have any clue as to where it is. And when you do finally hit that spot, you'll definitely feel it. I'm going to switch legs, and I'm going to put my right leg over top of my left and then lean forward. Focusing again on your breathing and your breath work. And then sitting back up. And then I'm going to stretch both legs out in front. I'm going to pull them toward me. And then I'm going to relax the pose. Bend it over straight legs. Releasing your breath and focusing on your breath and realizing that you need to be in the here and now. And then I'm going to stand up tall, hands overhead, meet at heart center, samastitihi. And then I'm going to step my right foot forward, pivot my left foot toward the side of the mat, my right foot toward the front, and do a triangle pose where your right hand goes down and your gaze falls toward your left hand, which is toward the sky. And all of the strength is held in your left side body. You can feel the stretch there. And then I'm going to switch, and I'm going to do a reverse triangle. Lift my right hand toward the sky, my left hand down. Gaze follows. And then I'm going to stand tall, and then I'm going to do a squat down, arms like goalposts, and hold this pose here, Buddha squat. Just feel all the emotion and stuff going to the surface. And then stand tall, and I'm going to pivot and plant my left foot to the back. And then I'm going to do a triangle pose where my left hand goes down, my right hand toward the sky. Gaze follows. And then remember, you're going to feel it in your right side body. And then I'm going to do a reverse triangle, right hand toward the ground, left hand toward the sky. Gaze follows. And then forward fold. And just feel that release in your lower back. And then we're going to stand tall. And I'm going to go into a chair pose, and I'm going to hold it here just to warm up my body for a moment. When you do these poses, sometimes all of the emotions come to the surface, and that is what you want. I'm going to do a side twist to the right, gaze follows, center, side twist to the left, gaze follows, center, stand tall, mini back bend, forward fold, half lift, and then a vinyasa, or I'm going to hold it into a plank pose. And then vinyasa. And then back to downward dog. And then I'm going to lift my right leg toward the sky, You can flip it and then step through warrior one, and then put your right arm on your right leg, left arm overhead like a swim stroke, and then left hand down, dragonfly twist, and then seated split. And then from here, I'm going to do a reverse half moon pose. And then I'm going to cross my left leg over my right and do a temple dancer where I twist my arms toward the left to try to touch the inside of my foot. And then I'm going to grab my left foot, put it out in front, and then pull it to the side, Padagustasana B. And then I'm going to go into a vinyasa with my right leg high. And then I'm going to step my left leg into the air, step it through warrior one, and then set your left arm on your left leg, right arm overhead like a swim stroke. Just feel the stretch in your right side body. Then dragonfly twist, seated half split. And then we're going to go into a reverse half moon. And then we're going to cross our right leg over our left. And then temple dancer. So you're going to want to twist and you clasp your hands together all the way to the inside of your right foot. Then you're going to grab your foot out in front toward the side, Padagustasana B, and hold it here for as long as you can. And then I'm going to go into a vinyasa with my left leg high. And then back to a downward dog. Just give yourself 3 breaths here. And then I'm going to step my right foot forward. I'm going to twist my left arm overhead, my right arm behind, revolve reverse, and then standing split into a half moon. Your left hand is up high, and you're going to hold it here for a moment. When you hold these poses in yoga, it's basically like holding something in life. You're barely holding on to whatever, and if you fall out, you just get back up, because failures are only an excuse to try again a different way. And then you're going to put your left hand down, and then you're going to switch feet, step your left foot through, reverse revolve, and then standing split, and then half moon. Your left foot and your left hand is down, gaze follows toward the right, and you're going to hold it here in this half moon pose. Now, everything in life is not easy. Sometimes you have all these emotions come at you all at once, and you just have to process it. And processing it might be hard. You need to be alone in your thoughts, and you just need to accept that you feel a certain way because you need to process these the vulnerabilities and the emotions that are showing up in your body or your mind. And expressing them or processing them can be really hard. And for me, it's definitely something hard, because I'm going to go into a frog pose, by the way. Spread your legs out wide and then lean over. So expressing these emotions and vulnerabilities that can show up is not easy, because you don't want to accept that they're there. And it's just accepting that you need to feel the emotion to get through that process. And it's not simple. Sometimes it requires doing things that you don't want to do. But yoga is a good way to process them and to cope with whatever issue that you may have, and it could be a good solution. Who knows? You won't know unless you process or try different alternatives to process these emotions in your life. So while you're holding it here, you might not have this much flexibility, but you can slowly lower it down while your body gets into that position. And just be patient with yourself. And then we're going to sit up. And then from here, we're going to stretch our legs out. We're going to do deer pose this time. I'm going to tuck my right leg and my left leg behind. You can start at either side and then lean over. And this will help the tension that you hold in your thighs. So many people have tension in their thighs, but they are not aware how to process emotion or vulnerabilities that are there. So just give your body patience to do this. Another thing is the sun is very healing. It is full of vitamin D, and vitamin D people are seriously lacking. And I don't think there's a synthetic option. Yes, they say there's synthetic or there's other vitamin Ds you can get alternatively, but nothing is as good as the sun with giving you that vitamin D. So we're going to sit up, stretch both legs out, and switch to the other side. So your right leg goes behind your left leg in front. And holy crap, the porch is really hot. And then you're just going to lean over that other leg that you bent in front. And each side will feel different. So show yourself grace and don't ever prejudge. Now, these poses you can always do before you go to bed at night, or if you need to release tension, or any other time in your life where you're just like, I need to ground myself back with my breath and back in this present moment. Just give yourself that grace to get there. So this concludes my yoga practice for today. I hope it helped you process whatever you're processing in your life right now. I do have other yoga videos and other channels, so if you'd want to go, feel free to check them out or subscribe. Feel free. As always, thank you for joining, and I hope you have a great rest of the week. Namaste.